Welcome to Middle Math Academy's Rates Level Number 2. Remember, there are 5 levels of challenge for every topic, so if you're ever looking for more rate practice, make sure to check out levels 3 through 5 or level 1. Let's get started with our learning targets. Our learning targets today are I can find the unit rate and unit cost, and I can solve real-world problems and explain my reasoning. Go ahead and rate yourself on these learning targets before the lesson. Before we get some practice, how confident do you feel in these? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Once you're done rating yourself, pause the video and answer our opening problem. Remember, this video won't go over every single problem in this lesson. Please make sure you're writing what I write and keeping up with the examples. That way, when you're practicing independently, you're confident and you know what you're doing. Let's take a look at our notes. Our first note is a rate compares two quantities that have different units. Our next note is a unit rate or unit cost always has a denominator of 1. And so to find the unit rate, we are going to divide the numerator by the denominator. And I want you to write this as well. Remember, this fraction line means divide. So if I have 6 over 2, that really means 6 divided by 2. You can always pause if you need more time. And then when you divide, the denominator, or our bottom number of our fraction, will be what we want 1 of. So let's do a quick example. In example A, it says Courtney made $88 in 10 hours. At this rate, how much money would she earn in 7 hours? So our first step is we're going to find the unit rate. Okay, so we divide to find the unit rate. We're ultimately looking for hours. And so when we divide, hours will be our denominator, our second number. So we'll do $88 divided by 10 hours. And then that gives us $8.80 per hour. Now, just a quick side note, whenever we're talking about money, you always need to go to the hundredths place, 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. So if you just plugged this in your calculator, you got 8.8. But since we're talking about money, we need to add a 0 so that it goes to the hundredths place. You'll never see 8.8 on the cash register at a store. You'll always see $8.80. Anywho, our next step is we are going to multiply to find the rate. So if we know that it's $8.80 per hour, if we want to figure out the amount for 7 hours, we'll multiply both by 7. $8.80 times 7 is $61.60. And then 1 hour times 7 is 7 hours. Now, if you want to write 1 hour here, you can. But the reason why we don't is because it says hour, singular, 1. It doesn't say hours. Okay, so that's how we kind of know it's 1 hour. Once you have this down, let's take a look at examples B and C. I'm going to complete B with you and then have you practice C on your own. Example B says, Layla read 25 books in 2 years. At this rate, how many books would she read in 5 years? Step number 1, we're going to divide to find the unit rate. So since we're talking about years, I'll do 25 books divided by 2 years. 25 divided by 2 is 12 and 5/10 or 12 and a half books per year. So this is our unit rate. How many books Layla read in 1 year? Now that we know how many books she read in 1 year, we can multiply to find the rate. We'll multiply to figure out how many she can read in 5 years. 12 and 5/10 times 5 is 62.5 books in 5 years. I'm going to circle my answer. Go ahead and complete example C on your own, then come back to the video. Go ahead and check your work for example C, correct any errors, then flip to page 2. All right, I'm going to complete problem A on page 2 with you, then have you complete the rest on your own. A says, if Joel ran 620 miles in 50 days, how many miles can he run in 13 days? So we know we first, if we're talking about days, need to figure out how far he ran in 1 day. So we'll do 620 miles divided by 50 days. And 620 divided by 50 is 12 and 4/10 miles per day. That's our first step, dividing to find the unit rate. And here is our unit rate. Our next step is we're going to multiply to find the rate. So we want to find out how many miles he ran in 13 days. So I'll multiply both of these times 13. And 12 and 4/10 times 13 is 161 and 2/10 miles in 13 days. So remember, step 1, divide to find the unit rate. Step 2, multiply to find the rate. And then we can write a sentence answering our question. Joel ran 161 and 2/10 miles in 13 days. Complete the rest of page 2. Once you're finished with page 2, come back to the video. All right, on page 3, I'm going to complete A with you and then have you complete the rest of the problems on your own. A says, a store sells a 32-ounce jug of apple juice for $2.24. At this rate, how much would a 48-ounce jug cost? Step number 1, we're going to divide to find the unit rate or the unit cost. So we're going to divide 224 by 32. $2.24 divided by 32 ounces equals 7 cents per ounce. So we completed step number 1. Step number 2, we're going to multiply to find the rate. We want to know how much it costs for 48 ounces. So I'm going to multiply our ounces and our dollars by 48. And 7 cents times 48 is $3.36. So we get $3.36 for 48 ounces, and we'll circle our answer. Then if you want, you can write a sentence over here answering the question. Go ahead and complete the rest of page number 3, Then come back to the video. All right, on page number 4, I'm going to complete problem A with you. Then I'm going to have you complete page 4 and page 5 on your own. Problem A says Tori bought 6 tickets to the concert, costing $43.68. What is the cost for 13 tickets? My first step, I need to find the price for one ticket. So I'm going to do $43.68 divided by 6 tickets. 43.68 divided by 6 is $7.28 per ticket. So this is our unit cost. We divided to find it. That's our first step. Our second step is to multiply to find the rate. So I'm going to multiply our numerator and denominator by 13 because we want to know the cost of 13 tickets. 728 times 13 is 94.64. And then one ticket times 13 is 13 tickets. We'll circle our answer, and then I'm going to write a sentence under A. It costs $94.64 for 13 tickets. Pause the video if you need more time. Once you have this down, you're going to finish page 4 and page 5. Once you finish both pages, come back to the video when you're ready for page 6. Now that you're on page 6, pause the video and complete the common misconception problem and the closing problem. Once you finish both, come back to the video. All right, let's go over our common misconception problem. The correct answer on this problem is Amir is correct. The unit price is $2 per hour because 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Then we can multiply $2 per hour, which you can see in the work at the bottom, by 10 to get $20 in 10 hours. So if you didn't have this or something similar to this, make sure you have this down. And then let's go over the closing problem. Our closing problem says, Kayla babysat and made $80 in 4 hours. At this rate, how much would Kayla make after 6 hours? Name the steps you use to solve. So step number 1 is to find the hourly rate by dividing dollars by hours. Okay, we can see at the bottom that we did $80 divided by 4 hours, which gives us $20 an hour. Step number 2 is to multiply the hourly rate by 6 to get the rate. So if you didn't name the steps, make sure to do so. Once you have this down, we're going to close out by answering our debrief problems. Our 3 debrief questions are, in your own words, what did you learn today? How much effort did you put in during class? Rate yourself 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Explain. And then what do you think is a common misconception or a common mistake a student might make when learning unit rate or learning rates? Once you've answered these 3 questions, flip back to page number 1. And now that we've gotten some more practice in, rate yourself after the lesson 1 through 5. 1 being the lowest confidence, 5 being the highest. And if you need to, you can just reread our learning targets. Thank you again for joining us today at Middle Math Academy, Rates Level Number 2. If you're interested in more of a challenge with rates, we have levels 3 through 5. We also have 5 levels on just unit rate, if that's helpful. Have a wonderful day.